Star Wars Jedi Survivor is the sequel to 2019 Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and I gotta say that it is a very amazing game because it has everything a fan of Star Wars ever wanted from a video game, and it does the best out of it, especially with the combat, the enemies, and the story. And today I want to go into a deep dive because I finally finished the game after so many months of like playing it here and there. I think the game was way longer than I anticipated. It is also way longer and more detailed than Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order in several ways. But the thing I enjoy the most about this one is the story. So without further ado, let's go explore the things I enjoyed the most out of it, and also like explore some criticisms, because I think the game is not perfect, but it still provides a very enjoyable time, and even more if you're a Star Wars fan. So in terms of gameplay, Jedi Survivor is basically identical to Fallen Order in a lot of ways, but it also has a lot of interesting new elements. For example, new weapons, like new lightsaber stances. You get especially the Kylo Ren, like the crossguard lightsaber, but also playing in the game that is one of the worst lightsabers. So I was kind of disappointed to see that, but it also, you have a blaster, something you didn't have in the previous game, and I gotta say that was like the best. I really enjoyed using the blaster throughout the second half of the game. And I think it really expands a lot, especially with the enemies, and that's something I want to like really cover because I really loved the concept and the locations in Jedi Survivor. Because in this one, you don't only fight the Empire, but you also fight like remaining droids from the Separatist era of Star Wars. So in a way, it kind of provides the best middle ground between like the previous prequel era and this like Star Wars point between episode 3 and 4, and also like the Empire. So you fight everything from destroyer droids, which is my favorite droid in the Star Wars universe, and battle droids. You fight like stormtroopers. You fight like some really new, interesting Empire droids that I thought were amazing, especially the mini bosses. And it just provides a lot of really amazing and different things. You also get like raided by bounty hunters, which is something really fun, especially like during the middle of the game. Like you'd be going on your adventure and then suddenly a bounty hunter would appear out of nowhere and start attacking you. I thought that was really fascinating and amazing. And just the game provides many really amazing things that were not in the previous game. And with the planets, I think they did a good job, but I feel like it got a little repetitive, especially because you spend most of your time between two planets. This one has more of a grounded style, especially in the like main location, which is a planet Kobo, which you explore during the majority of the game. And that's when I say when the game is too repetitive, is because you only explore that one planet. For example, you also explore Coruscant in the beginning, which is the main planet in Star Wars, the prequel trilogy. And that was a really enjoyable area. I feel like if they explored Coruscant even more, and like similar to Starfield right now, like when you like really flesh out different planets, you have like different stores. But I feel like this one really spent most of the time in Kobo with like several different locations, which are very different. So it's not like the same every time. But I wish we had more planets. I feel like Fallen Order had more of exploration in different like planets. I think it had a lot more. And this one kind of like failed in that regard, but it also makes it up with the story. So I'm going to discuss the story right now, and I'm going to go into heavy spoilers. So if you haven't played the game, you have to skip to the end or watch another video, because I'm going to discuss especially a big spoiler towards the end. Because this story is kind of like a second part in a trilogy that I think they're going to make, because the story didn't conclude at the end. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. I'm definitely going to play the third one when it comes out, possibly in like 4 more years. But I really liked like all the twists and turns. I like how this game shows the progression in the protagonist Kyle's journey. It is something we see in the beginning of this game and also in the ending of last one. So there's like a time jump between Fallen Order and Survivor. And that time jump leaves a lot of gaps that are revealed throughout the course of the story, and that is one of the best parts of the game. Cal's relationships with other characters really get explored a lot more, especially with a different character called Bode, which is a very important character. Like in the beginning, he's kind of like that, you know, Cal's friend who helps him around at adventures. And throughout the course of the game, you start like revealing like new stuff about Bode. And well, I'm gonna spoil right now, but he is actually another Jedi from the Old Order who actually like betrays Cal in the end, and they become like he becomes part of the Empire, and that leads to some interesting storylines. And I think that plot twist was really interesting. So throughout that entire journey, you actually start pondering like questions about morality and like what is the right course to do. Like they're trying to escape to a different planet where like called Tanalorr, where they can finally live in peace, like free from the Empire. But throughout that entire storyline, they have to like discover like secrets from the Old Republic. They have to discover some other stuff, and those parts were really interesting, especially the Old Republic elements, because it is starting to become one of my favorite Star Wars era, especially with all the ancient stuff like pre-Jedi Order, like how the Jedi were discovered, how everything ties into like the present day, you know, like from prequels all the way to post-Empire. I think it really does a lot of great things. It leaves a lot of hints, like what is the old Republic, and it's kind of a shame still, like they discarded all the like old universe stuff, like after Disney bought Star Wars, but it still leaves a lot of like things to ponder. As a really big Star Wars fan of the old Republic, I was really amazed, and I hope it gets explored more in the game they're trying to make. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. And it was really cool to see that during Jedi Survivor. Like I said before, the story was one of the most enjoyable things. It offers a lot of twists and turns, and yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I think it is a really great follow-up to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, and Jedi Survivor has a lot of fun things to do. And also, if you're a Soulsborne fan, like those kind of games, like the Souls-like games where you have to go and explore, like it's not going to be as hard as those games, but it can still provide a very challenging experience if you're into that kind of stuff. If you're into defeating enemies, like trying to parry attacks and all that kind of stuff. I started playing it in ultra hard, and I had to take it down to like 2 or 3 notches because I was really getting beat up, especially during the boss battles against the enemy Dagan Gera, which is an old Jedi from the old Republic who becomes evil. And yeah, I was like really challenging at times. So if you want a challenge, this game is for you. And yeah, I just really enjoyed it. I think it was really fun in some parts, and it's not like the best game. For example, it also had some very kind of like slower moments. I wouldn't say it was like the greatest experience. For example, games like Tears of the Kingdom and some others that are just like a complete charm from beginning to end. Like there were times where I was just like waiting to finish the mission, but like that's a very subjective point of view from me. But if you like this kind of game, you're gonna enjoy it. So that's my final conclusion. Star Wars Jedi Survivor is a good game, and I'm gonna give it a 78 out of 100, the same as the last one. And yeah, overall, those are my thoughts on Star Wars Jedi Survivor. So if you like this video, also please like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. So have a great day, everybody, and I'll see you around.